Okay, in today's lesson we want to talk about composite keys. A composite key is nothing more than a primary key that's made up of two or more fields. And generally those two fields are drawn from other tables. In other words, each field individually is a foreign key, but together they'll form a primary key. And to expand on that, if we look at this situation, we have three tables in this database. One lists the students, and I'll go ahead and open that up, and there are 4 students in this particular table. There certainly could be more, but in this case we have 4. And I open up the project table, and I can see that there are 3 projects. Now the idea behind this database here is that for each project you're going to have multiple students assigned to it. So project A might have student 1, 3, and 4, for example. And then project B might have student 2, 3, and 4, or something like that. In any case, the idea being that for every one project there are many students, but by the same token, each one student can be assigned to many projects. When you have that situation where one primary key can be related to many records in another table, and then the reverse is true as well, where the primary key from that table can be related to many records in the other table, you're in what's called a many-to-many relationship situation. Many-to-many relationships are what necessitate the composite key setup. And so to enable us to stay in third normal form and to navigate this situation where we're going to have multiple students assigned to multiple projects, we create, I'll go ahead and close these tables, we create a third table. In this case I called it assigned. So if I open up this table, you'll see that project ID is listed, student ID is listed. And I can have combinations of project A, student 1, project A, student 2, so on and so forth. This field, the project ID field, by itself is a foreign key, which draws its values from the project table here. So the only legitimate values for this would be anything that's listed in this field. Same idea here for the student ID. This column by itself is a foreign key, and it draws its values from the primary key of the student table. So I'm going to go ahead and close those two tables. Oops. And want to reopen assigned. So with this setup here, this is a foreign key and this is a foreign key, but together they're going to form the primary key. In other words, I won't see combination A1 more than once in this list. I won't see the combination of C1 more than once in this list. But I can see A2 and A1, the combination being unique. So in order to create this as a composite key, I'm just going to switch to design view like that, and then instead of just clicking on one field and then clicking the primary key button up there, I'll put my mouse over here in the record selector area, or the row selector area I should say. Get your little black arrow, that click, drag, release to select both fields, and then you go up and you click on the primary key. So although you see the key twice, that just simply is Access's way of notating that this is a composite key, or a key that's made up of 2 or more, but 2 in this case, 2 fields. So I've set those as the composite key. Now I can close this and save. And then to create the relationships that need to be created for those 3 tables, I'll go to Database Tools, open up the Relationships window. I'll go ahead and add all 3 tables like that, and typically I will put the bridge table or the join table, depending on how you like to label it, but the table that has the composite key will go between the other 2, and then I just connect them, project ID to project ID. This is a one-to-many relationship, because for every one project it can be assigned many times. And then by the same token I have student ID to student ID, which is also a one-to-many relationship. And this creates what's called a many-to-many relationship with a composite key.